Hey yo, what is up? Two tanks have entered super test and I am pretty excited. One is a tier 5 and the other is a tier 8. Now, why would I be excited with a tier 5? Because nothing significant has come out in tier 5s for a long time. Now, this could be some kind of reward, some kind of gift tank, but it's an AMX 13 FL11. Looks like your regular AMX tanks, not the AMX BIS. I mean, when I'm talking about AMX tanks, you know what I'm talking about, that iconic shape with the oscillating turret. This could be easily looking like a 1390 of some sort. So this class of tanks is especially interesting to me because the auto-loading variants of this tank is what I really enjoy playing, even with the bad chats in the medium tanks. But this is of course a light tank and it is not an autoloader, but the shape reminds you, kind of nostalgic, reminds you of an autoloader in tier 5. This is of course a single shotter. It'll take 6 seconds to fire off its shells, does 110 damage, and with HE shells you can do 175 damage if you can pen those HE shells. The penetration on this tank is 108 on standard AP shells, 148 on premium shells. Now 108 penetration on standard shells is actually pretty good. Also the damage 110 is pretty good for a tier 5, but there is a penalty, and the penalty is 6 seconds reload. That is the sucky part of this. Tanks in this category, tier 5s, light tanks, they are usually in the 2-second, 4-second reload. If you're talking about one of the best light tanks, the T50 reloads in 2.21 seconds. The Chaffee slow reload 4.22 seconds. 6 seconds is a bit of a handicap, and you've got to play this more like a medium tank sniper from a distance. You can't really engage and use your DPM to attack your enemies. However, if you do decide to attack, you have gun dispersions of 0.39, which is pretty good. 0.39 is in fact better than a Chaffee kind of accuracy, more or less like a T50 kind of accuracy. Not the greatest, but definitely playable. The aim time as well is pretty quick. Chaffee aim time 1.5 seconds, T50 aim time 1.92 seconds. What is the aim time on this tank? 2.1 seconds. So not the greatest of aim times, but if you have a 6-second reload, the aim time of 2.1 seconds isn't going to really matter that much. I do enjoy I will enjoy playing this tier 5 tank. It's going to be interesting to me because of its light tank class. It has camo, mobility 65 going forward, 20 in reverse, 22.1 power to weight ratio, very nimble, very agile tank. The opposite is true of this tank. This is the XM66 Foxtrot. This is going to be a tank destroyer that looks like an Excalibur from the back. It has that huge and raised engine top, which is also going to be a huge silhouette. People are going to be able to shoot you from the sides easily. You can't miss this tank because of that huge camo hump at the back. But also what this means is the turret traverse is going to be limited. Maybe it's going to be 45 degrees on each side, maybe it's going to be 90 degrees on each side. I don't know yet. There is no indication of what kind of turret traverse angles are you going to get out of this tank, but it's going to be somewhere in the range of 90 degrees on each side. So you can probably look over to your side, but then any more than that you would have to traverse your hull in order to get into some of the shooting angles. Now, what is the problem of this tank? The problem of this tank is it is a very slow, cumbersome tank destroyer. It's going to work a lot more like a heavy tank, but you do get a lot of armor, from its turret armor, 230 frontally, and it is sloped like a dome, so you're going to get a lot of bouncy shots from the front. You are going to be expected to play from the front because, again, this is going to be some kind of heavy tank variant of a tank destroyer. It's going to play more like a heavy tank, less like a tank destroyer because of that armor capabilities. Also, you have really slow mobility, 35 going forward, 12 in reverse, power to weight ratio 13.6 power to weight ratio is more like a super heavy tank with the 750 horsepower. This is not a fast, nimble tank. You're going to be expected to use that armor in the front lines. Now, dispersion 0.38, not that great, but 0.38 for a frontal assault tank is going to be on par with heavy tanks, along with that 10-second reload time. You're going to need 10 seconds of a reload, I suppose, because you know, you're going to be out in the front playing like a heavy, so your gun is going to behave like a heavy as well. However, you do get 400 alpha damage on the main gun with AP shells that travel 1000 meters per second and premium AP shells, APCR shells that travel at 1240 meters per second with 276 penetration on that APCR shells. That is a big bonus for this. I'm gonna say it's a heavy tank, but it is disguised as a tank destroyer. I don't see this as a red line sniper at the moment. I see this as a forward aggressive tank that is going to be, you know, you're going to be platooning, you're going to be fighting together with your other heavy tanks on your team. And that is my first impression for today. This tank only came out in Supertest yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, so there could be some changes in the future, but we'll see what happens when it happens. But that's all I have for you today. These two tanks just hopped in to Supertest, a tier 5 light tank and a tier 8 tank destroyer / heavy tank. I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.